Hi there, it's Chris with N3 Architecture, and today we're back talking about the custom beach house I'm designing in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Concurrently with the site analysis phase of a project, I'm also working on programming and performance programming. Programming is the quantitative list of spaces, their approximate sizes, adjacencies, and any other important characteristic that the homeowner would like to include. Performance programming is qualitative. It's an analysis on how my client will use their home. It gets into their daily, their weekly, and yearly routines and things that are important to them and their families and their lives. Now, both of these tasks involve me listening to my clients more than speaking, understanding what is more important to them rather than telling them what I think is best. To uncover what's important to the homeowner, we start with a series of casual conversations. I want to know more about their lives, their dreams, their goals. I want to know about what a typical day looks like or a typical week, what they do in the winter versus what they do in the summer, how and when and who they entertain with. I want to hear the good and the bad. I want to hear what they struggle with and where they find peace. A sugar-coated description of their life does not help me design a space that works for them. A cookie cutter list of rooms doesn't help me actually understand their needs. Now, this can be a little hard at first, especially since most people are conditioned through real estate and home improvement shows to only really care about square footage and finishes. So we usually will have to start off with the programming aspect of it, the quantitative list of spaces. And as they talk about the rooms they want to include in their home, it gives me the opportunity to slip in some more of those detailed questions. As they're talking about their primary bedroom, I might ask them what time they like to wake up on a Saturday morning. Now, this might confuse people for a moment because what would that have to do with anything? But it gives me the opportunity to explain that if they like to sleep in, then we should locate their primary bedroom on the northwest side of their house to avoid morning sun and keep that room darker for longer, allowing them to sleep later. Or if they say that they like to wake up early and enjoy a nice cup of coffee while the house is still quiet before the kids wake up, then I might talk about locating the kitchen or maybe even a little sitting area in a place that receives morning sun. These are examples of decisions that do not cost any extra money, but it does affect the quality of your life. It doesn't cost any more money in construction to locate the bedroom on the left side of the house versus the right side of the house, but where you locate that bedroom will have a huge impact on your life. After those initial conversations and the times where I'm able to interject those questions that require a more thoughtful response, the homeowner will usually start to understand why these detailed and nuanced questions are asked and why it's important for them to give a thoughtful, detailed response. And at this point, I have them fill out my client questionnaire. This gives them the opportunity to go much deeper and explain a lot further on the things that are important to them and the way that they live their lives. Now, just like with site analysis, in the performance programming phase, I'm looking for a few key items to highlight to use as a conceptual framework to design the house around. Now, the questionnaire will provide me with a lot of information, but there will always be a few really important items that stand out that are so unique to that family that allows me to craft a story that will begin to inform the design of their home. On this particular house, we started out just like always in creating an initial list of spaces. This is the programming stage, the quantitative list. Now, the rooms that are going to be included in this house are a primary bedroom with a walk-in closet and an ensuite bathroom, also with a small reading area and a private deck looking out to the water. A suite area for the homeowner's daughter and granddaughter. This will include 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, and maybe a private family room area where the daughter and granddaughter can watch TV separately, or if the granddaughter has friends over, they can hang out there. And that's a space that's sort of away from the main areas of the house where they can make a little bit of noise and have their privacy and not sort of bother anyone else. It will also include a guest room for visiting family and friends. Now, the homeowner really wants people to feel invited to come down and stay for a week or stay for a weekend, and they want their guests to feel like they're welcome and not imposing. So this guest room should be remote from the main area of the house, possibly with a separate entrance. The homeowner wants the guests to feel like they can come and go as they please comfortably. Also, the space should be able to be zoned off when it's not in use, so they're not paying to heat and cool an empty space. We also talked about this guest area potentially having a little kitchenette and a small TV viewing area, but we don't want to make this space too large. One thought might be to locate this guest room over the garage. Now, this home will have a decent sized kitchen. They don't need anything too large or too showy or too fancy. Just a nice, decent kitchen where they can cook some good meals. They want a small eating area near the kitchen and a dining space that would be comfortable for 2 people or for 12 people. The main living room area should be located with the best views out to the ocean and should be somewhat open to the kitchen and dining area. The homeowner wants people to be able to feel included when they have larger gatherings, but they also want some privacy so that when they do have those larger gatherings, multiple conversations can be going on at once. The main point is to make the home just as comfortable for one person as it is for a large group of people. And this point came up over and over again in our conversations and is going to be a driving factor when determining the size and the scale of the rooms. Some of the other desires include a 2-car garage, an office area with a library, which could be part of the primary bedroom reading space, a yoga studio / exercise room, and a pottery studio. As we moved into performance programming to discuss the qualitative aspects of the home, a few key points were uncovered. Outdoor space is important, and not just a large deck overlooking the ocean, but a variety of outdoor spaces in size, location, and orientation. Keeping as many trees as possible on the site is desired, and we shouldn't look to clear cut the land. The home should consist of separate volumes that are connected together and somewhat weave through the existing trees. The main living room should have an unobstructed view of the ocean, meaning that it should be placed in the location on the site with the best view, and that any deck or exterior patio should not be blocking the view of the ocean from inside the living room. So this is important. So this means that when we're planning the outdoor spaces, they're going to be adjacent to that primary view and not sort of living room deck view, right? We don't want to be looking through the rails on a deck out to the ocean. We want that unobstructed ocean view from the living room. The primary bedroom should be placed to receive morning sunlight. The homeowner loves to wake up naturally to the morning sun, not set an alarm, just sort of wake up when the sun wakes them up. Bird watching is a hobby of the homeowner, and she would love the opportunity to see birds as she's moving through her home. Creating pottery is also important to her, and she loves the Japanese art of kintsugi, where broken pieces are repaired in such a way that the scar is highlighted. When combining the thoughts of separated volumes with connector pieces, kintsugi pottery, and bird watching, and also layering in what the homeowner's late husband did for work, that will create the framework for which this house will be designed within. In my opinion, the best designs come from a combination of detailed analysis and abstract explorations. Design decisions should never be made arbitrarily. While exploring early conceptual designs, I like to create vignette sketches that look at individual moments. These sketches may not represent the final design, but they serve as inspiration and as a conceptual framework to work within. It is often the stories behind the design that determine homes that have a soul versus something that is just nice. This particular home is for a widow whose husband was a structural steel fabricator and welder. Together, they enjoyed hiking and bird watching. she is slowly returning to that hobby and wants the home designed in such a way that she can birdwatch from within the home. We already know that the home will consist of several individual volumes that are spread throughout the site in order to have a connection to the trees and the birds as she walks through the house. The client also enjoys creating pottery, and her favorite piece is a kintsugi vase. Kintsugi is the Japanese art of repairing pottery in such a way that the imperfection and scars are highlighted. Using this as a metaphor for the connector pieces between the volumes, the connectors become bridges framed with structural steel. As she walks through her house and through the connectors, she will not only be able to birdwatch, but it will be a tribute to her late husband. For me, custom design is not about finished materials or colors or what kitchen appliances you'll buy or even how energy efficient your home is. Sure, these things are all important and they will be discussed throughout the design process and incorporated into the final project. But those conversations have their time and place. In the beginning phases of a project, when we're just starting to explore the possibilities, custom design is about combining those specific conditions of your site mixed with the qualities that are specific to you that's learned throughout the performance programming phase. And it's these things that are going to make your house on your property completely unique to you. It is designed for you and your family in that specific place and not for anyone else or anywhere else.